Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
We were discussing about the different endocrine glands present in human body, the hormones produced by these glands and their functions. So, which gland we finished discussing? The last one what we started with was thyroid gland. So, before that we finished discussing about a few endocrine glands. Which were they? Gayatri, which all glands we finished discussing?
Pituitary gland,
A pituitary gland, hypothalamus,
pineal gland.
pineal gland. 3 we completed and we just started with thyroid gland. So, without any delay, let's start with that. Thyroid gland. It's the largest endocrine gland. Which is the smallest endocrine gland, Nandana?
Pituitary gland.
Okay, good. It includes 2 lobes. Thyroid gland consists of 2 lobes and these 2 lobes are interconnected by means of connective tissue and you call it as isthmus, and these lobes are made up of follicles and stromal tissues. Stromal tissues means connective tissues. So, thyroid gland is made up of follicles and stromal tissues. It comprises of 2 lobes and these 2 lobes are located on either side of trachea or windpipe. Even though there are 2 lobes, these 2 are interconnected by means of isthmus or connective tissue, as type of connective tissue. Follicular cells. So, I told it's made up of follicular cells and stromal tissues, and the follicular cells secrete the following hormones. Thyroxine. Thyroxine, I think only about thyroxine you have learned before. Thyroid gland produces thyroxine. Then triiodothyronine. Thyroxine is also known as tetraiodothyronine, depending upon the number of molecules present. Tetraiodothyronine and triiodothyronine, T4 and T3. Then the next hormone is thyrocalcitonin. Thyrocalcitonin and tetraiodothyronine and triiodothyronine are the different hormones secreted by the thyroid gland. So, in lower classes you have learned that when there is a deficiency of iodine in your body, thyroid gland will get enlarged and causes goiter. Yes? Hope you are remembering. Yes or no, children? Deficiency of, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Deficiency of iodine can cause enlargement of thyroid gland and results in a situation known as goiter. The disease is known as goiter, and from the name of these hormones, you might have understood why iodine is essential, because if the thyroid gland should form the hormones, iodine is very essential, because one major component, as you can see, iodo indicates iodine, iodothyronine, and triiodothyronine. So, iodine or the presence of iodine is very, very essential for the thyroid gland to secrete the hormones. That is why deficiency of iodine is affecting the production of hormones by the thyroid gland. So, totally 3 hormones are there. Thyroxine, that is tetraiodothyronine, indicated as T4, and triiodothyronine or T3, and thyrocalcitonin. And let's see the functions of these hormones. We'll start with the first one. Thyroxine, tetraido and triiodothyronine, same category, even though the number is different, tetra and tri. So, thyroxine, tetraiodothyronine and triiodothyronine. Let's see the functions of these hormones. They together bring about regulation of basal metabolic rate or BMR. BMR is the calories required, the calories required for maintaining, for carrying out the basic functions, the life sustaining functions in our body, that is known as BMR or basal metabolic rate. The calories required by human body to carry out the life sustaining functions. So they will help in regulating the basal metabolic rate. Then physical, mental and even sexual development is brought about by these hormones, and it will also help the formation of red blood cells. It controls the metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. This point you have learned in class 10. Thyroxine hormone produced by thyroid. Both the hormones, thyroxine, tetraiodothyronin and triiodothyronin, both of them, the combined functions of those hormones are given here, and they will regulate the metabolism. So metabolism, as you know, it is the sum total of all the reactions taking place in your body. In your body, synthesizing reactions, so building up reactions and breaking down reactions are taking place. So both, all the reactions taking place in your body, the sum total of that is known as metabolism. And you have learned in the first chapter that metabolism means catabolism plus anabolism. Catabolism is breaking down reactions, anabolism building up reactions, together we call it as metabolism. And metabolism of different nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, all these are regulated by the hormones released by thyroid gland, namely triiodothyronin and tetraiodothyronin. They also helps in maintaining the water and salt balance or water and electrolyte balance. So several significant functions are carried out by these hormones. So once again I'll repeat the points. They regulate, these hormones regulate BMR or basal metabolic rate, regulate physical, mental and sexual development, promotes the formation of red blood cells and controls the metabolism of different nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and also helps in maintaining balance of water and salts, or water and electrolytes. Any doubt? I have admitted. Some 10th standard students are also joining. Thank you, Nandana. Thyroid gland also produces the hormone known as thyrocalcitonin. It's a protein hormone. We abbreviate it as TCT, thyrocalcitonin. And it regulates the blood calcium levels. It brings about, or it lowers the blood calcium levels when it rises above the normal. And it's easy to remember because in the name itself, that calcium, the thyrocalcitonin. So it's the thyro indicates the thyroid gland, calcitonin indicates calcium. So it's a thyroid hormone which will help in regulating the calcium levels in blood. Iodine is essential for the normal hormone synthesis in thyroid. Already we discussed the point. Iodine is a mineral which is very essential for the thyroid gland to produce their hormones. So what is the role of thyrocalcitonin? Thyrocalcitonin is a thyroid hormone which will help in lowering or regulating the calcium levels in blood. Okay, children? Yes or no? Yes. Only when you
the last point.
About iodine, Steffi?
Yes, ma'am.
Iodine is a mineral which is very essential. Yes.
Should we write that under this?
Yes. No, it is not as a function of thyrocalcitonin. It's a general statement about all the hormones produced by thyroid gland. Okay. So, if the thyroid gland has to produce these hormones, presence of iodine is essential. It's not a function of thyrocalcitonin. It's a statement which is applicable for all the hormones produced by thyroid gland. Okay, Steffi?
Okay, ma'am.
Hypothyroidism. Now let's see some diseased conditions or some disorders caused by the deficiency or excess amount of thyroid hormones. We'll start with the first one, hypothyroidism. Hyper means high. Hypo means low. Hypotension, hypertension. High blood pressure is hypertension. Hypotension is low blood pressure. So similarly, hypothyroidism means low level of hormone. Enlargement of thyroid gland due to the deficiency of iodine. When iodine is deficient, the hormones produced also will be less. It will be deficient. Thyroid gland won't be able to produce sufficient amount of hormones. So hypothyroidism is also known as goiter, and it results in the enlargement of thyroid gland, as you can see in the picture, and it arises due to the deficiency of iodine. In adult women, it causes irregular menstrual cycle. So it interferes with the normal cycle of menstruation in females. Hypothyroidism, in case if it happens during pregnancy or a pregnant lady is undergoing deficiency of iodine or hypothyroidism, it can be very dangerous because it will affect the child or the fetus in a womb. That is why earlier in television and all, we used to see some advertisements that pregnant ladies, especially, we all should have iodized salt. Hope you are remembering that ad. Okay, and it is advised that generally we have to have, especially pregnant ladies should take or consume iodized salt. Even seafoods are rich in iodine, but maybe all are not non-vegetarians. Vegetarians are also there, and if you take iodized salt, where salt is mixed with iodine, so that can reduce the problem of iodine deficiency in your body, and you won't suffer from any such deficiency diseases. So hypothyroidism, in case a pregnant lady is having deficiency of iodine or deficiency of this hormone during the pregnancy time, it can affect the baby, results in the stunted growth of the baby, and that situation you call it is cretinism. Then mental retardation, low IQ, low intelligence quotient, abnormal skin, deaf mutism. The child can become deaf or mute because he won't be able to speak or hear. So many defects can arise if we don't have sufficient amount of iodine in your body, because lack of iodine can interfere with the proper functioning of the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland won't be able to produce sufficient amount of thyroid hormones, and it can lead to so many serious complications. Once again, when the thyroid gland enlarges because of the lack or deficiency of iodine, it results in a situation known as hypothyroidism, better known as goiter. In adult women, it can interfere with the normal menstrual cycle, and it can lead to irregular cyclic pattern. Hypothyroidism, if it is happening or if it occurs in pregnant ladies, it will affect the baby in a womb and can result in the stunted growth of the baby, causing cretinism, then mental retardation, low intelligence quotient, abnormal skin, deaf mutism, etc. So what we discussed just now was about hypothyroidism, and On the other side, when it is excess also, so these hormones are needed only in trace amounts. Whether it is deficient or excess, both can cause diseased conditions. So hyperthyroidism is caused by the abnormal increase of thyroid hormones. When the thyroid hormones are produced in excess, it can result in adverse effects on the physiological activities. Your different physiological activities can get disturbed. And it is caused due to the development of nodules or cancer of the thyroid gland. So when some abnormal growth or nodules are there on the thyroid gland, as a result of cancer, it can lead to excess secretion of these thyroid hormones interfering with, or then it can interfere with the different physiological activities. And another condition is known as exophthalmic goiter. That is also due to hyperthyroidism. Whenever the thyroid hormone, whenever the levels of thyroid hormone increases beyond the normal, it need not be cancer, it can be due to other situations also. One such case is exophthalmic goiter or Graves' disease. And here also thyroid hormones will be produced in excess. As you can see in the figure, the lady's eyes are protruding out, projected eyes or protruded out eyes you can see, and that is one prominent symptom of Graves' disease. And the thyroid gland enlarges, protrusion of eyeballs, the basal metabolic rate increases, then there will be weight loss. So if your weight, the weight of the body suddenly increases or decreases without any purposely changing your diet. Suppose you know you need to, or a person is thinking that I have to diet now and controlling the diet, and it results in a weight loss, nothing to worry. But other than that, without any reason, if your weight goes very low, there is a drastic reduction in the weight, it has to be medically attended, or you have to find out the reason, or we have to find out the reason for that immediate weight loss. So there should be some diseased condition which is making us lose weight drastically within a short span of time. And in exophthalmic goiter also you notice weight loss, then protrusion of eyeballs, increased basal metabolic rate, enlargement of thyroid gland. These are the symptoms of exophthalmic goiter. Once again, hypothyroidism is caused by the abnormal increase in the thyroid hormones, and when it happens, it can disturb the normal physiological activities, and this can be the excess amount of thyroid hormones can be released due to some abnormal growth or nodule formation in your thyroid gland. That can be one reason for that, can be cancer. And apart from that, due to Graves' disease also, the thyroid hormones can increase in your blood, and in case if this disease arises, the symptoms exhibited are protruded eyeballs, increased basal metabolic rate, then loss of weight, enlargement of thyroid gland. Okay? Quickly summarize thyroid gland and the different hormones produced by them. I'll start with Naureen from the beginning of structure and then functions. Structure, hormones and their functions. Yes?
Thyroid gland is the largest endocrine gland. It includes two lobes located on either side of the trachea.
Okay, Rijas, continue. How are these two lobes interconnected?
With a thin flap called isthmus.
By a connective tissue known as isthmus. Then, Malavika?
They produce two hormones, thyroxine and triiodothyronine, and thyrocalcitonin.
Okay, next person can continue. Yes, who is next?
Thyroid helps in control metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats.
Pardon, it's not clear, child. Once again.
Thyroid gland helps in metabolism of carbohydrates,
Ah.
proteins, and fats.
The functions of the first two hormones, that is, those are thyrocalcitonin, sorry, triiodothyronine and tetraiodothyronine. Their combined functions. One function you say, Sania?
Metabolism of carbohydrates.
It regulates the metabolism of carbohydrate, fats and proteins. Dona, another function?
Physical, mental, and sexual development.
Helps in physical, mental and sexual development. Vidur?
Regulation of basal metabolic rate.
Regulation of basal metabolic rate. Then Naureen again.
Support RBC formation.
Yes, supports RBC formation. Nandana?
Maintains the balance of water and electrolytes.
Maintains water and electrolyte balance. Then which is the next hormone produced, Steffi?
Thyrocalcitonin.
What is its function?
It regulates the blood calcium levels.
Regulates the blood calcium levels. Gayatri?
When there is no sufficient insulin to produce, the
Insulin?
deficiency of, the deficiency of hormones causes goiter.
Okay, deficiency can cause
Hypothyroid.
goiter. What else you know about goiter?
The symptoms are like the enlarged thyroid gland.
Enlargement of thyroid gland. And if this situation takes place in pregnant ladies, what are the complications that can arise? Meenakshi?
Stunted growth of the baby,
Stunted growth of the baby.
intelligence,
Intelligence will be more?
low intelligent machine,
Low intelligence. Then,
deaf mutism,
once again?
deaf mutism,
Deaf mutism.
abnormal skin,
Okay. Skin problems or the problem in the skin. Then, Anna?
In adult women, it causes irregular menstrual cycle.
Louder?
In adult women, it causes irregular menstrual
Okay, good. It can fluctuate, it can bring about changes in the menstrual cycle. Then tell me about hyperthyroidism. Rijas?
It is the increase of the thyroid hormones.
You woke up from sleep just now? No clarity in voice? Once again, say this sentence, repeat the sentence.
It is the abnormal increase of thyroid hormones.
Abnormal increase in the thyroid hormones. And what is the reason for that abnormal increase? What could be the reason? Possible reasons?
Cancer of thyroid gland.
Nodule formation or cancer of the thyroid gland. Then what is meant by Graves' disease? What do you know about Graves' disease? Anthony? Anthony? I want to see your face. Yes.
Exophthalmic goiter.
Exophthalmic goiter. What is that? What do you mean by that? When a person is having, listen, when a person, Anthony, just a minute. When a person is affected by exophthalmic goiter, how can you make out? What are the symptoms developed?
Enlargement of thyroid.
Enlargement of thyroid gland. Protractor.
Protrusion of eyeballs.
Protrusion of eyeballs means what? No, you tell me, Anthony. What do you mean by protrusion of eyeballs? I saw you reading. No problem. But you tell me, what did you understand by the term? What will happen to the eyeballs? Protrusion of eyeballs means, what is the meaning? What did you understand? Did you see the picture that I showed? What is that?
Eyeballs are coming out.
Okay. Projected or they'll be popping out. Okay. Then any other Symptom?
Weight loss.
Weight loss. So there will be weight loss, protrusion of eyeballs, enlargement of thyroid gland. These points, Nidhi, can you repeat? Symptoms of exophthalmic goiter. Just now, Anthony told the points.
Protrusion of eyeballs.
Protrusion of eyeballs.
Weight loss.
Weight loss.
And
Enlargement of
increase of BMR.
Increased BMR, enlargement of thyroid gland. Okay, good. So we'll continue.
Eyeballs.
Yes, Nidhi. But keep your video turned on. Any difficulty in doing that? Next,